Hello and welcome to this episode of CommuNInqué. As I mentioned in my teaser episode last night, this episode is going to be covering a lot of information from Super Smash Bros. 3DS due to an event that happened in Japan, and that's actually going to continue happening over the next day, so I'm going to be bringing even more information back tomorrow. And so it's basically just going to be covering mechanics information, some character information, as well as palette swaps and things like that. And so I'm just going to jump right in because otherwise I'm never going to get through all of this. And so to start off with, mechanics changes. And so I'm going to just be quoting him kind of word for word, not really inputting my own opinions until maybe the very end if I have time. And so, just starting off. Ledge Snap severely nerfed. It feels like melee ledge grabs. Pivot Cancel is still in. Ledge stalling may be impossible now. If you drop from the ledge and jump back up, you literally will not grab it. It's like the ledge gains invulnerability to your grab for a certain time after you let go. Do not take this out of context, I'm not 100% sure, I need to try it again on my second go around, but in my last match I basically lived on the edge trying this out. I could not re-grab the ledge directly after letting go and jumping back into obvious grab range. The ledge is definitely tougher to grab and there is no snap. Unfortunately, both Marth and Shulk flip for their second jump, so I could not test ledge re-grabbing within a short window of time because it waits for their flip animation to finish before they actually grab. I was right. I used Megaman this time and reaffirmed my experiences with Ike. There is a short and small window of time after dropping from the ledge that the ledge becomes immune to your grab. This has nothing to do with the trump mechanic. It was completely individual based on the character. It is not very apparent on characters with flips for secondary jumps, as the ledge grab action waits for the flip to finish and the window for ledge immunity seems to end before the flip animation does. Megaman and Ike do not have flips, and it was impossible for me to ledge grab after jumping or falling off of it for a period of time. And then a question was asked, are the blast zones still set very far out? And the answer was yes. Characters even go bubble status on Battlefield without dying. Whoever is worried about combos, there are combos. You can cancel run with shield. The game still has a sense of floatiness to it that is present in Brawl. It's definitely not like Melee where you drop like bricks. Shield rolling is extremely fast and there's a neat little sparkle star effect when you do it, and acting out of shield is as well. I think of it like a mini wave dash. No wave dashing or L cancelling, just rolling baby. There is no melee dash dancing. It's incredibly hard to do with the circle pad, but it's essentially the same thing as Brawls, i.e. not super useful or practical. Fast falling is pretty swift. It also has the Ash 64 effect sparkle when you do the input. Landing lag in general isn't too prevalent. Back ledge grabbing is back. Shields appear to be the only way of dash cancelling. Follow-ups are possible after throwing an opponent. I was playing Robin and someone trumped me from the ledge, and I had Magic Sword active. I immediately went into an air F smash and nailed the kill. If you air dodge into the ground, you get punished for it. It's not like holy cow bad, but in a top tier match probably a fatal thing to do. Attacking a shield seems much more safer than before, and with rolls being strong, it's easier to maneuver without worrying about getting caught. The interesting hit stun in Smash 4 seems to allow you to land a tilt or a combo opener without worrying about getting gypped simply because the other player is spamming A. As for neutral game, the running speed is so high, so we're already off to a good start. Rolls are really strong and tilts have amazing combo potential. That's the one thing about Brawl I dislike, how the opponent is just never too stunned to hit you in the middle of a combo, and that was definitely not present here in Smash 4. I think aggressive play is being fervently supported with the tools we've been given, but I do feel slightly concerned about match time due to long stocks because of wide blast zones. This can be addressed through lessening stocks at worst. Speed from dashing/running does not carry over into jumps. The frame rate was gorgeous, 3D on or not. No, I for one never noticed anyone ever get a pity smash where a person was KO'd and then come back automatically with a smash ball. However, the rounds also were only 2 minutes long, and so no one was ever losing considerably badly, so it is possible that pity smashes still exist. Chain grabbing is basically now impossible because the throw distance seems to be relatively increased and also sort of lodges the character too far in the air. I think he meant launches. The directional input is definitely in, but it's slight. It's definitely there though. Not sure about the timings of tumble state and whatnot. Attacking shields were a lot safer. It was a real Street Fighter feel in that you could pressure an opponent's shield without it being really cheap, akin to pressuring an opponent's block. Shields also break easier, so you can't just sit there in the shield. Landing lag. The elephant in the room. I will be blunt. Some moves have been given more landing lag. Sonic's B-Air, Falcon's knee, air dodging. However, many, I'd actually say the majority of moves in the game have basically little to no landing lag. It was very easy to identify them quickly simply through playing. I believe that this whole landing lag thing is suffering from a nearsighted syndrome effect. People are playing the characters they like in the way that they always have, and when they come across a move they are used to using a lot and it seems to have a bit of landing lag, they suddenly attribute that to the entire game. Now, all of a sudden, every single aerial has more landing lag. The fact of the matter is that landing lag isn't so serious as it has been blown up to be. It does make characters with moves affected feel different to play because you need to change how you move and what abilities you use. You have to adapt, but it certainly doesn't make the game slower. Many of the said characters' other attacks have received changes to compensate. Overall, I can say with confidence that the game is not suffering from some kind of overall landing lag issue. Combos. Tilts. Tilts, tilts, tilts. Tilts are going to be huge. Most experienced players know how important good tilts are for combos, and that seems to be the case here. In any case, combos tend to become way more difficult when your opponent is at higher percentages, but at low percentages, combos are definitely a thing. Something about the way the characters connect in this game has been seriously changed from past iterations. Advanced text. Brawl dash dancing. No wave dashing, no L cancelling, but there is teching, or maybe it was auto cancel, hard to say. Pivot cancel is still in, you are able to do tilts as well in the same way. It's pretty neat. I wouldn't say it's like the definition of a meta, but it is a neat trick for mix-ups. Ledge mechanics. Okay, let's get this explained. The ledge snap has been nerfed significantly. It's way more similar to Melee than Brawl. I don't know the frame data for Melee, but I won't say it's the same. But, to be honest, I think it may just be a tad more forgiving than Melee, but it is definitely nerfed. There's a small ledge immunity after letting go of a ledge. The ledge immunity is to you. I tested this extensively with Ike, Megaman, and Charizard. Basically, if you drop off the ledge in a manner that you would do if you were trying to maybe stall there, the ledge automatically becomes ungrabbable for a small window of time. For example, if you are a Charizard and drop off right off the ledge or get trumped, and you hop very quickly back to the ledge, you will not grab it. You will just fall right past it. The details around these mechanics need to be explored a lot more, but overall I think the offstage game has been given a whole new makeover. Game speed. The speed of the game is... oh my goodness, this must be surprising to hear, but it's in between Brawl and Melee. However, airspeed is still closer to Brawl, ground speed is very Melee-feely though. Fast falling is incredibly fast though. Shields are fast, very fast. They are basically the new wave dash, I dare say. I'm being totally serious, and you can attack out of them with a great deal of attacks. Overall. This game did not feel like Brawl, and I've been playing a lot of Brawl lately to prepare, and I would almost feel bad for doing so. It actually felt more like Project M, to be honest, if I had to compare it to something, but when it comes down to it, I almost feel like I'm insulting the work put into this game to simply size it up to some previous iteration by saying it's like Brawl or whatever else. This game has so much freaking stuff in it. I now understand what Sakurai was saying when he said that they basically rewrote all the characters. Even though many characters possess the same movesets, you can really tell they aren't the same. The animations have been rebuilt from scratch. Peach has mostly the same moveset, but her body moves so intricately and 100% differently in the way that she executes them. It is absolute madness to witness. I really do believe the characters were built from the ground up, same movesets withstanding. Characters interact with one another in a way we've yet to see. The hit stun in Smash 4 is unique, and the characters have literally everything revamped to fit Smash 4's new style of mechanics. Now moving on to characters. This information is going to be kind of in random order, but I did group it by character, and so it may be having a few repeats kind of with the mechanics section, but I did my best to try to avoid repeat information. So starting off with Meta Knight. Meta Knight's up B is still like Marth's up B. It hits people like once and sort of knocks them away and has an upward direction to it. His tornado still has a lot of hits, but you can directional input it pretty easy because the hits are actually less frequent. I don't know yet about its priority. Meta Knight is not the same. His attacks, while still possessing that flashy ka-chink aesthetic, are not nearly as intimidating as they are in Brawl, to the point where he's literally like a melee character in Brawl. They have some startup to them now, they aren't just instantaneous. The shuttle loop nerf is hilarious, it basically mimics Marth's Dolphin Slash sorta, except when he jolts up using his sword. His recovery is not even close to what it was in Brawl. I guarantee Meta Knight will not be an issue as he was in Brawl. His attacks were slower and his recovery got slaughtered. His tornado is easy to DI and hits less times. Pac-Man. Pac-Man is slow. Every single one of his aerials are kicks. His forward aerial is a double kick, his back air is like Mario. The thing that stood out about him is his utter sluggishness. His fall speed is like Brawl. His run speed is slow. His forward B sends a pellet out in front of him, and then he turns it into classic Pac-Man and boosts towards it. It's kind of like Greninja's Shadow Sneak thing, except you can't time it. He feels slow, but his attacks feel like they had a good hitbox, because he's really fat and his legs stretch when he kicks. He just felt really interesting to play, but I ended up using his aerials, and because of their hitboxes, the most because of their hitboxes. Pac-Man's forward A is a combo like Marth except with punches. His down aerial is like Lucario's except he kicks like 2 to 3 times. Pac-Man's costumes change his gloves and shoes. Let me clarify some things on Pac-Man. He did feel slow, but he wasn't ineffective. I generally play faster characters in general. Me and my friend have talked extensively about him, having both played him, and he feels a lot like Mr. Game & Watch. It's kind of a dorky slowness. Does that make sense? It's really so hard to explain without you actually playing him. He's got this quirkiness in his movements, but his hitboxes are really good, which appear to be the compensation for his pretty slow movement speed. And then here, question. Could you elaborate on Pac-Man's playstyle and what his alternate costumes were? Did he have his hat from Pac-Land? Answer. Pac-Man felt like the new Mr. Game & Watch. His moves were very quirky and absurd, with lots of large hitboxes. He has a fire hydrant move that pushes other players, and his aerials have extremely disjointed hitboxes due to the nature of how his legs stretch and act so wobbly. Despite the fact that he felt a bit slow, there was a sense of bounce to him, given he's a ball that seems natural. His air falling speed is slow. He falls like there is no gravity, I kid you not. His alternate costume consisted of only changes to his gloves and shoes. There was one extra costume where he is given socks that cover his legs. Lucario. Lucario is unchanged except his smash attacks feel much faster. Peach. Peach is unchanged except for her up aerial. It's now a rainbow thing. It has an arched hitbox over the top of her head. She draws it with her hand, similar to Sonic's new up air. Peach's turnip pole speed is nerfed. She can still move into float to do things like crown and air. Her F smash goes tennis club, golf club, and frying pan. I believe it's a set order now. Peach's forward B has barely any startup time, the butt slam. It felt really fast. Peach has a daisy palette swap. Final smash is the same as Brawl. Did not pull any items, but the turnip type seems to be random. Did not pull a nasty turnip though, although her turnip pulling speed is hugely nerfed. I can't emphasize that enough. It's way slower. The slowness comes after the tug. There's an animation where she cradles the turnip like she's super happy to have pulled it out. They add an actual visual to her down smash and its utterly redonkulous hitbox. It's a little air wave circle around her. You can tell where the hitbox begins. It doesn't knock back like Melee. It actually sucks the opponent in and hits them multiple times before shoving them off. There's no float canceling. Zelda. Zelda has a white costume. All of her costumes are palette swaps, no change in costume. Sonic. Sonic still dies pitifully if you end up in a spin without a jump. Sonic's forward B snaps to the ground. It is really fast now. His up air is like a scissor kick. He has a way better hitbox than the twist kick thing. No Metal Sonic. Shades of blue and one white skin. Combined with the higher ground speed, so it appears he has a higher ground speed than he used to. His up aerial has a better hitbox, it's wide. His up smash has KO potential. His side B ends with a kick. His spin dash is really fast. His side B clamps to the ground and zooms at your opponent. It really gives the feel like being a speedy, little hard to hit sucker. Unfortunately, his B air has a bit more lag if you land during the kick, but his F air seems to have a really easy auto cancel or tech window. His homing attack is now reminiscent of Project M speed. His side B is amazing. It snaps to the ground and it ends with a kick. Also like Project M. The kick is a little different from the Project M one though. His down aerial didn't seem too different from Brawl, but his B air kick definitely had some extra landing lag. If you down air from high enough, you get no landing lag though. Ike. Ike feels unchanged. I was never an Ike main, so I don't know the specifics, but his attacks were all the same in general. Nothing new that I noticed, other than that he felt the same in Brawl as he did in Brawl with a faster running speed. Palutena. Palutena's smash reach is incredible. Her up smash is a giant pillar laser beam thing. Her side smash moves a bit forward and her wings slap in front of her. She honestly is kind of like a baton twirler. Her aerials, the back aerial is shield smack, forward aerial is kick similar to Zelda's, up is similar to Pits and Brawl in how it hits but not in animation, dash attack is a shield slam thing, forward tilt, wheel spinning thing, up tilt spins the staff above her head, her down tilt spins the staff under your opponent, down smash slams her wings down on both sides, forward smash slaps her wings into your opponent in the front of you. Unfortunately, I'm not too acquainted with Kid Icarus, so I'm unable to say if one costume matched that character, Verity, in hindsight, but I did mention a few of her color swaps. She has no alternate costume that completely changes her look though, just colors of her current costume. I would describe her as a tank class if this were an MMO. She's very beefy and yet somehow still moves incredibly quick. She has good spacing and her recovery is like Zelda. I didn't get to use her final smash. I posted a little bit about her costume color swaps. I think it was black, pink, green, red, white, a super dark violet one, and I can't remember the others. Nothing significant though, just colors. Pit had nothing special either. Robin. Robin is fantastic. Magic is not slow. When he has his spellbook, his attack speed is really good. If you use a smash attack in the air, it uses his magic smashes. If you use a normal aerial, it uses his other weapon. Let me reaffirm this. Robin feels amazing. Chrom appears in Robin's victory pose. He has two swords, the magic and the non-magic one. Forgive me, not an awakening veteran. All of the tilts are using the physical sword. They have a good combo ability. All of his smashes use the magic sword, which have an electric effect. When in the air, if you use the inputs for a smash attack, and you still have the magic sword available, you will do an aerial that uses the magic sword. If you typically hit an aerial, he will use the normal sword. You use up your magic sword quite quickly, but it regenerates rather fast, so it's not like it ruins your tempo. Very fast. The fire move we've seen is actually a fireball that comes from above Robin's head and rains down in the vicinity in front of Robin. His neutral B shoots an electric lightning bolt straight across the stage. The healing move is his down B, and you would be surprised to know it heals for a lot. I healed for about 20%, and it stuns your opponent while you heal. It has a startup though, so it's not as easy to land as any regular grab. I can see Robin being a pain in the butt to people who can't avoid getting caught in it. Unsure if you can force break it from slapping buttons. I only played as him. His up B jumps a bit and then shoots wind slicers down. Important to note that it's not straight up. He jump and slides slightly to the side in the direction you're facing, then shoots them down. So it can be a ground option too. The alternate costumes for Robin are just gender/hair color swaps with matched tinted robes. You could still use magic attacks B moves when you lose his magic sword. The magic sword only dictates the properties of his smash attacks only. The magic sword literally recharges in like 5 to 7 seconds. I'm really not kidding here. You hardly notice it's gone from mostly, but I see it hurting in a pinch. Use it wisely. He is the only character I know of that can do attacks in the air with a smash attack input. Tome and sword discarding are all automatic. I honestly don't remember losing the tome while using Robin. I would definitely lose the magic lightning sword and it would come back after a bit, but I don't remember losing my tome special attacks B moves. I knew there was some stuff about the color of the tome and whatnot. It's unfortunate that I couldn't attempt to fully explore these mechanics, but I never remember it being out of gas with his magic B moves. I can't imagine what his B moves would be replaced with anyhow when you think about it. My friend was playing against a level 9 CPU as Robin in the single player booth. During the match, he used up all his charges of Levin's sword, at which point Robin automatically throws the sword away. Here's the fun part though. The CPU actually grabbed the sword out of the air before it hit the ground and disappeared. Stunned in shock, my friend then took a Levin's sword to the face and was KO'd at about 70% give or take. So yes, you can grab Robin's sword after he throws it away. Not sure about his spellbooks though. Villager. Villager's up B is the most overpowered recovery I've ever seen. Shulk. Shulk has amazing spacing options because his Monado reaches so far. Shulk's second jump is a somersault. Feels funny. All his smash attacks have a strange millisecond-ish load up time before they come out. The Monado powering up or whatever. Shulk's standing A is a 3-hit combo. Shulk's up B is a 2-part combo. You can choose to do the second part by inputting B again. Basically swipes up like Dolphin Slash. If you hit B again, he will do a swipe in front of him and then send the opponent flying. His up smash is sort of like Palutena except with a much smaller pillar of light coming from his Monado. I think his running dash attack is just a sword swipe. Shulk lunges forward and swipes down with his forward B into the ground. When you press neutral B, it changes the insignia. Can't change while he's rolling, unsure attacking. His B air shoves his sword behind him without even turning around, like under his arm. Shulk has the underpants alt we all know about, rest or recolors. You pre-select the mode you want to switch to by a giant emblem that kind of overlays Shulk. It sort of flips through them. When you find the one you want to use, you activate it. There's a small animation involved with switching them. His sword has incredible range. He plays similarly to Ike in terms of his movements, but a wee bit faster. Do not misinterpret this as me saying he's a clone of Ike. He's a completely fresh character, but I have pretty high hopes for Shulk. His up smash is similar to Palutena's, but a bit smaller. His forward smash has ridiculous hitbox in front of him. Changing to certain Monado stances will make him faster or stronger. Shulk is a magnificently deep character. It's almost mind-blowing to think what his top players will do with him. Shulk's Monado stance changing is done by pressing B to flip through the different stances, then confirming which one you want to swap to. There's an animation for it, but it's short. He just goes hi-ya and pumps his sword and he changes color. Marth. Marth double forward air is not possible. Marth is quick on his feet, but his hitbox is nerfed and cannot double forward air in a short hop. Marth has an orange skin. Marth feels very nerfed. His range seems to be even worse than in Brawl. I was whiffing forward smashes like crazy, and I'm pretty good with tipping. Aside from his range and no ability to double forward air, he seems pretty much the same aside from running faster. It's his range that really feels kinda killer to his melee/brawl playstyle. Tipping with Marth seems to require your opponent to be a lot closer than ever before. It seems he won't be as much of a spacing monster as he's always been. This can't be overstated enough. His range feels significantly shorter. By significantly, I mean that it's noticeable. It's all relative, of course, and seems to be his most notable nerf. Spacing his tippers seems to be considerably more skill-based due to the range needed. His counter has also been apparently boosted. Zero Suit Samus. Zero Suit Samus comes in dark blue, really light blue, lighter than her normal costume, green, black, and red. But then there was clarification later that the really light blue was actually gray. He said he looked too quickly. The two more skin showing suits are present. That's it though. Link. Link has a costume with red-like markings under his eyes, and looks nothing like Link, but his eyes are whitened and has red marks, and he's a dark-colored costume. There's also a white and blue Link. Fierce Dedede Link is in as a costume. Link is faster. I especially noticed his forward smash 2-hit combo being quicker. Toon Link. Toon Link has the Four Swords colors and old style Link color, the black with red eyes. There is no island Toon Link costume. Zelda. For her new Phantom move, it doesn't hit a character right up in her grill. The Phantom spawns maybe a character away, so if your opponent is right up on you, the Phantom will just spawn in front of them and whiff. Zelda has no alternate costumes, only color changes. For her side special, the explosion seems to happen more instantaneously from the point at which you release it. Thunder Heal feels a bit nerfed, but her recovery has some ridiculous kill power on it for some reason. Her Phantom attack is actually pretty cool, but something to note is that it will not hit a character standing directly in front of you. Zelda does feel like a glass cannon, if you will. Each of her abilities seems to really freaking hurt when connected, but she's pretty light. Pikachu. Pikachu has a hat with sunglasses on the front and a fighter headband, red and black colored, I think. Pikachu also has a black and yellow backwards hat costume, Gold's hat. The Cloud and Thunder is now a Meteor Smash. Pikachu's electricity hitboxes seem to create, like his F-air and down air, more hit stun, and it felt like Smash 64's version of those attacks. His tail up tilt is legendary. His back air is still kind of awkward to do with a bad landing lag, but it didn't feel any worse than Brawl. Quick attack is kind of tough on a circle pad. Pikachu does amazingly with pivot cancel forward tilt. The kick comes out really fast. Megaman. Megaman has a green-orange costume, a white-red costume, and a blue and white costume, and a yellow and black costume. No glasses or visors on any of the alts, no helmetless costumes either. He seems like a zoning character, which I'm never a big fan of playing. I can see a player being really annoying with him when pushed to his limits though. Fox. Fox has an alternate skin that looks exactly like Wolf, has gray fur, purple eye device, and grayish clothing. It's the only skin that changes Fox's fur. This is only a color, not a costume. The Wolf costume for Fox is unmistakably supposed to be Wolf. In none of Fox's other color changes does his fur change color except for that one. His clothes also change color to the same as Wolf's, and he also gains the purple scanner like the object that Wolf has. If Wolf actually was in the game, then it would cause confusion between the normal Wolf color and the Wolf costume Fox. They look much too similar, so it appears that Wolf has been deconfirmed. Pit. Pit's side B has a bad lag if you whiff, big KO power if you hit at higher percentages. There is no Dark Pit costume for Pit. Pit's fist is pretty neat. It does a ton of damage, sort of like Little Mac's KO move if you hit someone with high percentage. It has terrible lag on it if you whiff though, don't miss. His recovery is obviously very nerfed as he cannot fly, but it is fine. Bowser. No drive Bowser, alt for Bowser. Charizard. Charizard can be purple, yellow, red, gray. There's a dark red Charizard and a blue Charizard. Flare Blitz reminded me of Meta Knight's 4B drill move. Seismic Toss is indeed his up throw. Flare Blitz is a very useful move. It covers a lot of ground, travels fast, and is a short startup speed for what it is. By that I mean there's still a noticeable startup speed. The drawback is definitely the recoil, as reckless usage of the move can quickly rack up self-inflicted damage. Has good KO power. As for Rock Smash, I couldn't really manage to hit anyone with it except a few times where they were at lower percentage, so I can't really say much about it. It is still the same as in Brawl, though, in the sense that you can hit with the boulder itself and if someone is right in front of you, and then again with the smash. Palutena. Again, when Palutena rolls, she turns invisible like she's teleporting. Sorry for some of this disjointed information. I didn't get to group it correctly. Kirby. Kirby has a naked Meta Knight alternate. Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong can only have one banana out at a time. Pulling for another makes the other disappear. Diddy Kong has no alternate costumes, just color swaps. King Dedede. No masked King Dedede alt. His final smash ends with him driving his hammer into his opponent like it's the fist of God. It's so overdone it's silly. I don't really remember too well the first bit of the animation, I only caught the end of it. Captain Falcon. Captain Falcon's uppercut side B does strike damage and it's a grab as well. His up B goes straight up. Captain Falcon still has his knee of justice, but they made it have huge landing lag. Easier to sweet spot. This is a really specific question that is tough to answer as I only played him once and just tested his landing lag mostly. The difficulty of landing the knee sweet spot is hard to say. I did land one on on my opponent. I don't know if it was difficult to do or not though. His knee did a lot of damage, does a lot of damage now if you nail it. The fire uppercut seemed like a combo starter. It didn't have much knockback, but kept the enemy close while letting you close in on them and get a few hits of damage. Captain Falcon felt rebuilt. Same general moveset, but his physics were given a total makeover. A lot of characters actually like Peach. I'd say his handling felt more like Brawl, but his moves had better hitboxes. I noticed his up air is not as spammy as in Melee. It was kinda given the Marth treatment, a fair nerf. Stomp is pretty much bad lag too if you land on the ground during it. And Lucario again. Lucario has a purple and green skin and a dark gray skin. Rest of the shades are blue. There is no yellow Lucario costume. Little Mac. Little Mac has 16 costumes. He has 8 costumes for his fleshy self and 8 costumes for his wireframe. I only remember seeing the purple pinkish sweatshirt on all of the costumes, both wireframe and flesh, no other sweatsuit colors. Both mostly changes to his boxing gloves and a couple with pink purplish hoodie on for alternate changes. Yoshi, Black Yoshi is in. Greninja. Greninja is a great character with, I feel, a high skill cap. Great zoning, good mobility, the shadow sneak I can't get enough of. Pretty light though. Greninja feels like one of the stronger characters. His footsies to me is really strong because of his zoning abilities and his unique moves. It's really hard to mind game a Greninja. Olimar. There's 4 Olimar skins and 4 Alf skins from Pikmin 3. Sheik. Sheik feels like a melee character in Smash 4. Rosalina. I thought Rosalina would be really tricky, but she was actually fairly simple. The first match I won was with her. That said, she's definitely an easy to pick up, hard to master character. When Luma is with Rosalina, her attacks are very strong, high percentage and good KO power. When you want to start zoning people or edge guarding, that's when you send Luma out. By themselves, they don't really have much KO power, and they can rack up damage. Her neutral B, which sends Luma out, also has quite a lot of KO power, if charged all the way. Rosalina's forward air also has quite the deceptive range, and is a good anti-air. If Luma gets killed, which happens fairly often, it respawns after 10 to 15 seconds. Didn't see your costumes though. And now, items. One thing that caught my attention was the Advanced Wars Assist Trophy makes a return. Stages. PictoChat stage was playable, Paper Mario stage was playable. Whew! That was a lot of information to go through, so I hope you all enjoyed it. There's going to be even more information coming because there's going to be a second day of this event, and he's returning to the event to test some more things out. And so I will be back tonight with the other news that came out today other than the Smash Brothers news. So please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you tonight. Stay classy, YouTube.